my phone to my laptop. I was trying to switch over from my phone to my laptop. Thank you so much for inviting me, and thanks for everyone who is on the call. It's great to be, to be remembering Mama like this, by building other people. So it's great for this opportunity. I had two things, which I wanted to do. So I was like, oh, which one should I do? Which one should I do? So that's why I was like, okay, give me 5 minutes. I was just trying to decide, but look, I will go with building a compelling future. I was going to do one which I thought, about emotions, because it's an area we don't, particularly many of us who are Black, we don't always look at, but it's an area that really blindsides us, so that's why I was a little bit more moved to that. But look, let me do compelling future. It was like, look, I need to make change now. Do I have access to share my slide?
I'll give you access now, ma.
Okay.
Yeah, you should be able to share now.
Okay.
Are you able to share, or should I make you the host? I've made you the co-host.
Oh, it allows me. Yeah. And I hope I'm sharing the right. Can you see my slide?
Yeah, it's coming up.
Okay. Okay. So okay, so okay here. So we have just a short time together. Those who know me know that I like to talk a lot. So I'm going to try and keep it brief. And but as much as possible, still also try and get, as much of what we want to do. So what I want to talk about is creating a compelling future, you know. So maybe somebody might be 50 on the call, might say, look, well, it's not now I want to be creating compelling future, but I'll say they say the time you wake up is your morning. So whether you are 60, 70, 80, 90, what is his name? The person who made KFC, was how old? Was not a child, Coca-Cola, all of them, So if you look at all of those journeys, they were not children when they achieved those goals. So from wherever we are, we can always create a compelling future. I always say one thing, that I would rather live one day, in the center that I fully fulfilled my purpose, than to go all of my life and I never fulfilled it. Because they say, you can't keep doing the same wrong thing and expecting a different result. Say, it's too late. No, it's never too late. So if you don't remember anything I said today, just remember this one that I'm telling you, that it's never too late. It's never too late to do something, to change, to bring your life to where you want it to be. Most of us stop trying because we think, how many is it now I want to start? No, right, one day, just one day of fulfilling your destiny, of experiencing what your life could be, is what more than one, than to live the whole of our life and never do that. So that's what I want to try and look at today, to see that how we can create a compelling future. So the first thing I say, that, no one climbs the ladder of success, with both hands in the pocket. So if you and I, so I'm talking to myself as well, because whenever I talk, I'm reminding myself of things. So if we want to create a compelling future, the number one thing is that it is work. It's like saying, roll up your sleeve. So nobody's going to hand anything to us, If I had time to tell you my own story, like I didn't get here, and until tomorrow I'm still I'm still on that treadmill and I'm still on that journey, but something keeps driving me. And that's what I want to be able to share with you, like that drive. What is that thing that drives us to keep going, to not stop, no matter how many obstacles, because life keeps throwing obstacles. It's like every time you come out, there is gravity trying to hold you on the ground, saying, don't fly, don't fly, don't fly, So that's gravity trying to keep you on the ground. But what is that inner grit that we develop by ourselves that say, you know what, I'm going to go to where I want to go. So again, so first things, it's a lot of work, but it is possible, it is doable. So at the end of this session, we're going to, look at how to develop multiple streams of resources. One of the things that has helped me is that I don't have only one source. Like if this one do me jugulu jugulu, I just move the other one. If this one has small break, I will just go to the other side. So I have multiple streams of resources. And again, good that Ola is on the call, and she's the one organizing. Ola has multiple streams, and that's the thing that gives us that liberty, that freedom, So we also learn how to chart your own life map, identify the core components of a compelling future, recognize hindrances, and then learn how to deal with fear. We'll see what we can do amongst some of these topics. So this is what I call my why, and they are bigger now, but these are my why I keep going, I want to be an example. Like if my child wakes up every day and they see me on a chair, they wake up in the morning, I'm on that chair, and in the afternoon when they come back from school, I'm on the chair. At night when they're going to bed, I'm on that chair. They will think that, that is like their own ambition now will be to grow up. Me too, I will get to the one day that me too, I will be sitting down, people will be serving me. That is such a misnomer, So it's really important that, that we paint. So for me, I want to paint a good example for my children, My son, during last week, I needed to do a presentation, the person who normally does my IT person was not around. So he said, look, mom, get all the things, I can do it, And with every challenge that came up, I just saw this young man, he found a way, he found a way, he found a way. When he finished, he said, mom, I don't even know where I got it from, whether I got it from me. I said, of course you got it from me. I'm like that, nothing stops me. I keep going. I keep finding a way, But he noticed himself, because I was saying to him that, wow, I couldn't believe that he actually was able to do it, but he did it. It was something he had never done before, but new equipment that he had never used before. He's not even media person. He's engineering and psychology, but he was able to do that. Why? Because, he has a mom who doesn't stop, who doesn't give up, and that rubbed us. So these are my why, So if I ask you, so I want you to think for a minute, what is your why? What motivates you? What is your biggest motivation to succeed? Because you see, the thing is, if we don't have a why, then anything can just stop us. Anything can just hinder us. Anything. Because don't forget, life is constantly trying to just stop us. Things are happening to hinder us, to pull us down. So if you don't have a why, it's really important. So what is your why? So I want you to think for yourself. You don't need to tell me, but think for yourself. What is your why? What is the thing that makes you keep going? What gets you up in the morning? What makes you keep going? What makes you, they insult you, you still keep going? What is the thing, they try to hinder you, you still keep going, you don't stop, you don't give up? What is that thing that helps you not to give up? It's so important that we know it. If you know it, then you can nurture it. So it's really important that we do that you know your why and nurture it. So this is a working session, so so again, when we talk about a compelling future, it's about direction. It's about the direction. What direction are we taking? Where are we facing? What direction? What point are we going through? So that's what we begin to, when we think about a compelling future, so something that pulls you, and we're going to look at that. So something that, is attractive enough to draw you when you are able to wake up in the morning. Many people, they can't, they can't even agree to wake up in the morning. Why? Because it's like, oh, another day like that. It's like, oh, God will not allow us to have that kind of day that will be, oh, you know. So if I were to ask you, because of time and we're not, in a face-to-face, but if I was to ask you to describe your own life in your own words, and, as you told yourself last week. See, the thing you will say, if I say describe yourself, is different from what you were telling yourself last week. And what you are today is what you were telling yourself last week. It's not what you are saying when I ask you now. It's not even what you're telling to people. It's not what you put on your Facebook page. or your Instagram page or your TikTok page. No, that's not yourself. The thing you were thinking, that is who you are. And that's why I wanted to do the one on emotions. But I said, look, it might be a slower pace than this. And it'll take me a longer time to build that case. So really important, what you are thinking, where you are now, where I am now, where we are now, is a function of what we are thinking. Not the things that happen to us. Not the things we told ourselves, not the things we put on Facebook or Twitter or LinkedIn. No, the thing you were saying to yourself. So I want you, for 30 seconds, I want you to think about the 3 things you told yourself about yourself last week. What did you think to yourself? What were you thinking about yourself? Oh, my life. Hey, is this how I will be again? What were you thinking? What was on your mind last week? Think about those things. Write them down. And then look at it. This thing that I'm thinking, if it builds, if it molds and it builds, will the future it gives me, will I like it? Because whatever you were thinking is building a future. You will not have a future different from what you were thinking. It's so hot. We will not have a future different from what we were thinking. Do you understand? Yes? So really important that whatever it was that you were thinking, so write those things down, just for yourself, and go back over them when we are finished with it. Say, these are the 3 things I was thinking. These are the 4 things that were on top of my mind last week. If these things multiply by 100, because that's what's going to happen if we don't break that chain. So when we ask people what it takes to succeed, if you can type in the chat, if there are any other things apart from these that are in here, you can type it in the chat. What does it take to be successful? People will say education, talent, skills, good communication. Even some will say wealthy parents, physical stature, creativity. Are there any other things that we can think about that can help us to be successful? You can type in the chat. Okay, so Agbala says self-determination. That's a really, really good one. Skills, self-determination, really important ones you've mentioned there. Self-determination. I tell you, that is one of the most important things. Most people think it's education. And I say, look at how many educated people who are not successful. So if it's only education, then everybody who is educated, but we can see so many educated people who are not successful. See, thank you, Chika. Social currency, your social capital. Do you have social capital? Do you build social capital? One of my research that I did, one of the things I looked at in Ireland, people for mobility in Ireland, is social capital, social networks. When they say go for conference, do you go? When you get to the conference, you just stay with only the people you know. Who do you talk to when you go there? Do you take phone number? Do you invite them for tea, coffee? Do you meet them? Do you insist on paying? See, that's how you build social capital, so that people can respect you. But you might say, she has a job, me, I don't have a job. No. Hold your pride like this and pay for that coffee. It's $3.50. But that person will respect you. So build social. Most of us don't have social capital, for those of, in some places, maybe if we are back home, we have social capital because we've grown there. But if you're abroad, maybe you're the first person that's traveled in your family, then you don't have social capital where you are. So how do you build your own social networks? And we build them by, even on LinkedIn, you can build social capital on LinkedIn. Follow people, like their post, make a comment. There's one woman, she's always dogging my post, everything I post. So now I know her name. I know her, because she's always posting, she's always responding to everything I say. Even if I say ha, she will respond. So that's how you can make people who don't know you to notice you. Follow them on LinkedIn, the professional page. When they say comment, then because when people comment after a little while, they start noticing who is this person. They notice you. So that's where you can begin to build social capital. There are different ways, There are different ways. When you go for conferences, look for at least 2 people. Look for 2 people. Exchange phone numbers with them. Then connect with them on LinkedIn. Then ask them if, can we meet up for tea or coffee, you know? Even if you don't want to drink tea, just go there, Sha. You know? Because how will you know when there's a new job? How will you know when there's promotion? How will you know? It's these people who are in offices that you are not. They are the ones that will show you. They will be the ones who will mention your name in places. Most of us will wait until the day we need them. I get people who look for me the day they need me. By then, I don't have time for them. So you need people who have looked for you even before they need you. So that by the time they need you, you have already built relationship with them. So when we talk about really ultimate power, you know, so it is your greatest possible.
Give your tablet. Yeah,
You
give
know?
your tablet now.
You know, so your ultimate power is your greatest possible maximum capacity. You know, we look at, when we look at power, power is a unit of work or unit of time. It is the rate at which we get a job done. Everybody can do any job. If you give somebody a house to build, everybody can build a house. But the real builder is the one that builds it in this particular time. If the person is building it for 100 years, the person will build it one block at a time, 1 block a day. They will build the house. But a real is the time that it takes. So it's not just doing the work, but the time that it takes you to do the job. So you are asking yourself, how much time does it take me to get jobs done? That's when we know people who have power. Power is not that you do the job. It's the time that it takes you to get the job done. That's what power is. You know? So it's the ability or capacity to act or to do something effectively. So the question I'm saying all of this so that you can start asking yourself is to make your life move from just management principle to become effective. You know, I read the book, 7 Habits of Highly Successful People. What are successful people like? When do they wake up? What do they read? What do they watch? What do they listen to? Are they watching Big Brother Nigeria or Big Brother America? What are they watching? What are they listening to? You know? So power is not about doing, but it's about being. It's about being. If it's about doing, then the bricklayer who is laying the bricks should be the wealthiest person, but he's not. He's not. There's somebody else who is his manager, who makes more money. He carries the block, but somebody else, for telling him where to put the block, drawing how the block is going to sit, makes more money. They can't even compare what he makes. So it's not about the energy. It's not about the doing, it's about the being. How can you be? How do you occupy space? I want you to be thinking of all these things. They will all come together in the end, you know? So power is not the absence of difficulty, but it is the presence of solutions. It's not, people have power. You think, no, it's not because they don't have challenges. No, they have challenges, they have difficulties, but in their challenge, they have solutions. Our biggest frustration is when we're in a place where we don't have solution. And that's what brings a lot of stress. We don't know what to do, how to do. So it's about being in a place of solution. So it's not the breaking point, but the making points. So power really is the key to ultimate success. We can't have success without power, you know. So I want you to think, most of us just go through all the different areas of our life, but these are 8 different areas. I describe, our lives like a chair with 4 legs. I look at my life like a chair with 4 legs, and one leg might just be your job. One leg might be, family. One leg might be your relationships, one leg might be your spiritual growth, or, and sometimes something happens to one leg of the chair. But most of us, we sit down with that one leg that is broken as if, oh, my whole life is finished. But you're saying, but woman, you still have 3 legs. The chair still has 3 legs. Nurture those 3 legs. The 3 legs will give support to the one leg that is affected. But no, we face that one leg that is bad, and that becomes our whole identity. And that's why people say, be grateful. count your blessings, count the things that you have. Then it actually surprise you. Actually, you know what? I am actually better than I think I am. And those 3 legs that are still working, those 3 areas of your life that are still working, we actually then give you energy to handle. But when we focus on the one area that is bad and we look at it, then we enter into depression, sadness, then there is no energy. Even the ones that were working before, we start going down because we have made our life all about that one leg. So this is a way to think about your life, to look at it like, these are all areas and every area is important. If you don't take care of your fun and your recreation, we can have mental health issues. We can go into depression. We can go into sadness. We can go into all kinds of things. If you're not working on your personal growth or your romance, you can go into loneliness, which can lead to depression. Friends and family, we can be fighting all the time, or we can have good, health. Your health, you're walking, you're drinking water. Every of this is. So I want you to take a holistic approach to your life. Don't just, most of us just think, oh, my career. No, it's every area of our lives. Our physical environment, even the space we live in. What does the space look like? Does it look like clutter? Everything. And these are all of the things that put together, that gives us, areas we need to act on. And this is what helps us to have what I call a balanced life. We cannot have a balanced life without all of these different areas of our lives, working effectively. So please take a snapshot of it, and, look at it and say, which area of my life do I need? Is it the money area? So money is not everything. You understand? So some of us, money. Yes, money, we've made money 90% of the problem, but then we have friends and family. We have our personal growth that we can do by, going online, but we won't do that because, I have a money problem, So again, it's just looking at how we focus on, what is important and what is relevant. So when we look at the future, a compelling future, we're looking at the strategies. How do we improve, how we visualize our, our future? What do we see when we look at that future? What do we see? How do we have a compelling, These are the key hindrances to a compelling future. Because of time, I won't go into them, but if anybody has a question, you can stop me and I can spend more time on one of them. I will try and make sure we have 10 minutes at the end to, to go through any questions or comments that you want to contribute to it. But these are hindrances to a compelling future. One of the biggest one is what we call what? Fear. So I always ask a question, and I'm going to ask you today, if you were not afraid, can you think of 3 things that you will be doing right now? If you were not afraid, can you think of 3 things that you will be doing? If you have a pen, write it for yourself and look at it. If I was not afraid, what are the 3 things that I will be doing right now? I can't, I know them already. I know the 3 things I will be doing. What about you? Do you know the 3 things you will be doing right now if you were not afraid? Write it down. If you can, type it on your phone, write it on something. And then I want you to now look at that list and look at it, because that is what fear is keeping you from. Those 3 things on that list is what fear is keeping from you. That's how fear is, I call procrastination the thief of time, but fear is a bigger thief. It's a bigger thief. It will steal time. It will steal our dreams, our future, if we let it. The second hindrance is what we call procrastination. When you leave until tomorrow what you can do today, what you can do right now. Maybe you come back, you say, oh, you leave your shoe by the door. And then you still walk straight up to the room that you are going to. So why did you not just take the shoe to the room and keep it there? So that's one less thing to worry about. An email comes and you were just supposed to just type yes, but you read the email and you say, oh, later. Instead of saying yes.
When around 9:10, if there's no,
how do you, so we look at, We leave it till tomorrow. We leave it till later. And you know what happens with procrastination? When we procrastinate something, you have to use energy. You have to use power to remember that thing. So you have to be carrying that thing that you procrastinated. You have to be remembering it. And then the thing will be coming to trouble your mind. But if you have just done it once, it's done and it's gone. So we have what we call the 5-minute rule. Anything that comes up, the first 5 minutes, quickly, do it in 5 minutes. Anything you can do in 5 minutes, do it quickly. And it's, most of our stress is 5 minutes things that we have piled up and it has become a big mountain. But if you just do it, it's off. Your mind will be free to be creative. You'll be open. So procrastination is a thief of time. Doubt. What if? Hey, what if? Doubt is it hinders a compelling future. Confusion. What brings confusion? When we have too many things, when we put too many things that we want to do, then we get confused. Oh, maybe, at the end of the day, we end up not doing any one of them. And then becoming overwhelmed. So they are all interconnected. We become overwhelmed. So these are things that, creates hindrances to a compelling future. So these are things you want to eliminate: fear, procrastination, doubt, confusion, becoming overwhelmed. How do we deal with becoming overwhelmed? Find the simplest things and do them. If like most times when I look at my list, I have maybe like 20 things on my list to do. About 10 of them are things I can do in 1 hour. So that list will reduce from 20 to 10 in just 1 hour. So what do? I sit down, I send all those emails, I send this one, I send this invoice, I do this. If I know 10 things are gone off that list, that's 10 less things troubling my mind. I only have 10 left on it. So pick the simplest things that we know, remove them from it. Remove them from it. Then what is left? Look at what is urgent. But what is important? Some things are urgent, but they are not important. So that's how to deal with becoming overwhelmed. Or deal with procrastination. So you pick out that 5 minutes rule. You pick it out and you do that immediately. So in life, the pathway up, there are multiple journeys. There are multiple pathways. What way will you choose? What path will you take? And only you can know that path. Most times we leave it to the government. We say, oh, no, it's not the government. If I stay down every time the government or somebody try to keep me down, oh boy, I will be under the ground by now. But I keep going. I keep going. I just keep trying. I talk about racial stratification, but racial stratification can never happen unless you stop. And that's what it wants. That's what the aim of racial stratification. It wants to stop us. It wants to stop you. But you have to determine, I'm not going to stop. Yes, we can take breaks, for mental health, or just even sometimes you can just take a break and say, you know what, I'm going to be silent on this. Yes, you can do that. But come back again, refire and come back. Refire and come back. Don't stay down. I'm falling down and I can't get up. Oh, don't do that. There's a price for success, but there's also a price for failing. And unfortunately, the price for failing is worse than the price of success. Success, you say, it's a lot of work. I can't do this work. But not doing that work, there's a price for failing. So when so when we talk about compelling, we're talking about a force or drive to a course of action. A force, a drive. See, these are the words, these are the things. When we see people who are successful, who are doing, it's not because they have two heads. I always look at them and say, you don't have two heads. You don't have blue blood. It's the same blood that is in your body. The same head that you have that I have. It's the same brain. My own is not special brain. Your own is not special brain. So what do they have? What are they using? They are allowing that drive. Something is driving them. They're allowing the thing drive them. They are building it, they are feeding it. What are you feeding? That's why I said, think about, like last week, what are the thoughts what did you think about yourself? Because that's what's keeping us here. So some people, the things that are driving them are, the things that they need to do to achieve that. So I say here that, that compelling signifies a powerful and irresistible effect. Irresistible, powerful, irresistible. To force something to submit. That's when you compel, you force something. Your life is not good. You force it to submit. You don't give up. One of the things I noticed, like, I don't know where all of us are calling in from, but, in Ireland here, a lot of people, when came to Ireland, what I noticed that, people began to downgrade. So somebody who has a master's degree, go and do a level 5 course, so they can get a job in care. Now, there's nothing wrong with getting a care job, but instead of your master's degree is at level 9, but you've gone to do a level 5. So that's 4 levels less to get a care job, So the thing is that, like when we do that, we forget where we were originally going to. So even if you have to downgrade sometimes, because most of us have to go down to go up. So even when you downgrade, do not ever forget that this is where I am, and that you keep finding that pathway to reconnect yourself to where you are. But some people came, they came from level 9 to 5 and they've stayed there. I'm not just saying here, I know people, I know. I always say, instead of downgrading, I will upgrade. I won't downskill. I will always upskill. So just in case anybody who is at that stage now, please upskill, don't downskill. Because every time you downskill, you are losing income. Particularly in Europe. I know that you can get a quick job in care, but you are losing income. The effect will be in 5 years' time when you are still at this level. So these are components of a compelling future. So if you really want to develop a compelling future, you have to have a vision. You have to have a vision. What do you see when you go to sleep at night, every night before you sleep? What do you see? Sit down for a few minutes and tell yourself, paint a picture. Paint a picture of your home. Paint that picture, so that when you sleep at night, let that percolate into your mind. Let that percolate into your dream state. Let it percolate inside. But most of us, we go to sleep either with what we were watching or, hey, this country, oh. So we wake up in a worse state down, So let's have a vision. This is people who have a compelling future. Number 1 is a vision. And a vision is in front of you, is forward. It's never backward. Backward is depression. Forward is, vision. So have something before you, something you can look at, something you can read. Write it down. What does your future look like? How will you know you have reached it? What does it? Write it down. Read it every night before you sleep. Read it out. So walk around your room and read it out. See, paint it, even draw a picture of it. I can tell you so many people who've done this. What it is going to use your own internal force. That's how you build that compelling nature. Component, force and resistance. There is something that is trying to, you have to resist it. Don't just give in to life. Force. You must have, some people have no energy. I see some people, they're like this. I'm like, oh man, what's wrong? We just constantly look like we are sleeping or that we are not well. So energy, bring energy into a place. When you come into a space, let them know. Knowledge and focus, direction and planning, intensity and determination. Like, you cannot have a compelling future without determination. You are determined. I know these things can sound, but these are the things that make the difference. It's not whether he went to Harvard or not. Because the same person will go to Harvard and they will not make any connections, not make any links, not social capital. So as we look at, our time, and this is how to make your own statement. you know, this is what I'm going to do statements, you know. So think about it. Like this week, the rest of, we've just reached the half of the year. So we are starting the second half of the year. This second half of the year, what are you going to do differently to make sure that this second half of the year is better than the first half of the year? How? They say it's insanity to keep doing the same thing and expecting a different result. And just ask yourself that one, what am I going to do differently? What am I going to start doing? What am I going to stop doing to make sure that this second part of the year is different from the first part of the year? So this is what we call, I'm going to do statements. I'm going to blah, 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 blah. Start going to the gym. Start exercising. Start drinking 2 liters of water every day. Something as simple as that. That's it for somebody who has a health problem. Somebody who needs a job. I'm going to apply for 10 jobs every week. I'm going to visit LinkedIn. What are you going? So what is the one thing you are going to do? This is what I'm going to do. If we look at, we look at this runner, like his eyes is on the goal, is on focus. What is your focus? You cannot achieve it if you are looking here, there, here, there, here, there. I'm doing so many things, but my focus is my focus. That's one thing that keeps me going. I know things to say no to. I know what my focus is. So what is your focus? This runner cannot achieve that goal if he's not focused on it. The minute he looks back, I'm going to say this slowly. Your life will go in the direction that you are looking. So when you are going to, when a car is going to hit a wall, what do? They look away from the wall. But you are going towards the wall. Our instinct is to look towards it. You will go in the direction to which you are looking. So you have to look away to the other direction to be able to swap yourself to the other direction. If I'm driving, if I'm looking this way, my car will go this way. So if I want to go this way, I have to go this way. I have to look this way. As I look this way, my body, my car, my emotion, everything will go. So number one thing is, when you want to write this is what I'm going to do statement, look at what is your focus. What is your focus? Because of time, I'm not doing the exercises, but please, when we finish, just give yourself 5 minutes, to do that, So again, I'm just going to show it here again now. These are the components of a compelling future: resistance, knowledge, vision, intensity. So the components of a compelling future. This is just giving it to us in a way we can see it. So what did I say? Our compelling future is in front. What you see, it is clear, attractive, desirable, with a pull. So it is attractive. Paint a picture. See, I know this might sound, many of us, let's just go, let's just do it. No. See, that's why Burger King, if you go there, you see the burger is exactly the same, because they have written everything down to the size, down to the pinch of salt. They didn't just say put salt. No, they told you 0.1 grams of salt. They've told you what to put. They've told you, they give you the knife that we cut it. The chips all come out the same size. Why? They have put everything in precision. Just take the time, write it down. What is attractive? And it must be attractive, desirable. And that's what gives you the pull factor. But it must also be believable. To get a compelling future, write something that is believable. Don't say, I'm going to be the president of Ireland. It's not going to happen now. You understand? So something that is believable. Write something that is a want, not a need, not a need. And then have a sense of destiny and purpose. These are the kind of things that really give us a compelling purpose, a compelling future. When we feel a sense of destiny, a sense of purpose, like if, I'm on this earth to do this. I don't have the time to go to it, but even an ordinary bottle, doesn't just exist. It exists for a purpose. So imagine you must be here for a purpose. Find that purpose, go inside you. Ask yourself, why am I here? What difference can I make? Not why am I here for depression, but why am I here for activation? To align yourself with that internal thing that you know, but that is inside. So when you think about your compelling future, what do that thing you want to do, right? What do you know about it? Do a Google search. Now, AI is everywhere. If I want to know something, I just ask AI. I ask AI the question. Now, there's free AI. I'm not even, my son says, Mommy, pay for it. I'm still not paying for AI. I'm still using free AI. But what do you know about that thing you want to do? Look at all that she was saying. She came and we chatted. I can't remember that. Who is doing it? Where is it being done? That thing you want to do. Look for somebody who is in it. Look at their page. Follow them. Look at what kind of courses did they do? Where do they go to? What are they saying? Look, follow them. Where is it being done? I started the deep table. I looked at, okay, who is doing on RT? Who is doing here? I looked at the different places where they were doing, to look at, to frame what I wanted to frame. Where is it being done? Where do you know it? It says that we are destroyed for lack of knowledge. So if you don't have knowledge about the thing that you want to do, then, it can be destruction. You won't have that compelling future. And it is the truth that we know, it is the truth that we know that sets us free. That freedom from bondage, from depression, from not succeeding, from being held down. Know something, that thing that you know. That thing that you know. Okay, so my time is gone. So for compelling future, start with the how question. How will you know you have it? When you have it, how will you know? Because if you have not written it down, if you don't know it, then how will you know you have it? So you have to know what you want. So that when you have it, you know, hey, that is it. Write it down. Think about it. Meditate on it. What will it look like? What will it entail? What will it feel like? What difference will it make to you? Write it down. Write it down. Write it down. Write it down. So that the day you sit, you know, this is it. Read it every day, self to yourself. People who have, this has been scientifically done. People who had visions, who wrote it down, and they followed students from Harvard. They all had visions, but it was only those who wrote it down. They followed them, I think, 10 or 20 years later. Only those who wrote it down had actually succeeded in achieving what they said they wanted to do. So write it down. So a compelling future is a struggle. It's not something that it's not going to land on you. It's a struggle. Prepare for the fight. But it's a fight worth fighting. There is a pull in opposite direction, but stay there. Stay push, It involves pain and pleasure, but there's a price to pay. There's a pain, but the pain can turn to pleasure when you achieve the result. The pain is, the extra hours, maybe people are having fun and you are just staying there working. But when it turns to your gain, then there is pleasure. Then what you focus on, it says there's a cost and benefit. So when you focus on it, there's a cost for it, but there's also a benefit from that. I thought it was finished. Okay, so your compelling future is about your pursuit, your commitment, your dedication, determination, consistency. That's the first time I'm bringing this word in here. Consistency. You must be consistent. Like you cannot exercise and say, oh, I exercise, I did 100 press-up today. Then I will not do another press-up until another 3 weeks. That is wasted. Because that pain that your body felt that day, you have to put more pain on it. After a while, then your body will get used to it. Then, you will go to another level. So consistency. And that's where many of us are missing it. We are not consistent. We don't do it continuously. So to be consistent, those are the things that helps us to have a compelling future. Be consistent, I know things that I started and stopped and then came back. I said, imagine if I stayed with this thing, this 10 years, where will I be now? So those are some of the things I think about, like, if I didn't leave it for, 10 years, now I'm back there. When you come back, you have to start from where you stopped. It won't automatically come up with you for 10 years. No. So stay with it consistently, unless if it's not something you believe in. But if it's something you believe in, keep doing it, stay with it. So many people would rather master disappointment than seek fulfillment. And I will finish on this, the 3 ways that people meet their needs. People meet their needs, one, neutral. They have a victim mindset. They feel powerless, apathy, adapt, they feel just neutral. Some people meet their needs negatively, they feel that, the person has wronged me, they revenge, or, negatively. They can even have negative habits, smoking, drinking, womanizing. There are different ways people meet their needs, gambling, revenge, anger, depression. They meet their needs negatively. But some people meet their need positively. They think of possibilities, growth, they are balanced, they are generous, they are abundant, they are forgiving. So these are ways, So if I ask you, and I'll finish on that, I think we're finishing at 9, isn't it?
Yes, Mom, so that we'll be able to, so that people can ask questions if
Okay.
there are questions.
Yeah.
And you can give us some works to do as well.
Okay. So these are just 3 ways, So neutral, negatively, or positively. I will stop here for now, and we can just see if there's a conversation we want to have, and I might be able to,
Please, let's give her a round of applause. If you have any hand emoji, whatever you have there, please just put it there. Whatever you've gained this evening, you can put it in the chat box. What are your whys? Why are you doing it? Who do you want to be? Are you ready to be consistent? Is your head doing you like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God? Because mine is doing like, oh my God, okay, I want to start. Those are the encouraging words that we need to push ourselves. So if you have any question, please put your hands up
or
so that
even
we
a
can.
comment. Maybe you want to
Or
contribute
even a
to what I
comment,
said.
yeah. Or even if
Because
it's a comment.
we can learn from you as well.
Yeah. So please, if you want to say something, put your hand up, unmute yourself, and let's have it quickly.
I think Daddy
it's 9 o'clock.
has their hand up already.
Okay. So Babade, your hand is up. Can we have your question, sir?
Thank you very much. We thank God for our lecturer. We are so grateful for the commitment, for the seriousness she put into presenting the paper. Actually, I wanted to say thank you to her. That's why I pressed that hands up. It's raising my hand up to greet her for the work well done. Thank you very much, man.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you so very much, sir. Tease, I guess that's Toby. She said, wonderful presentation. Thank you, ma'am. Yeah, I have a question, ma'am. My question is, because I have somebody on the call. I just texted some people to join in because I was really feeling it, and I'm like, I know some few people that has asked me a few questions about, Ola, how do you do it? And it's God. And of course, I know what I'm chasing. I have my focus and things like that. And I have good people around me that push me. And one of the examples is Dr. Ebun herself, because sometimes, like I said, when I look at people doing it great, I just want to be great, So the gift of people, the gift of good people around me is one thing. My social capital, like you said. So one of my question is this: for those people that have given up, because I have somebody on the call that has literally given up. The belief. Sometimes some people believe it is because you're abroad or like you don't know what's happening. Some people feel like for us we don't know how to go about it. what do you think such people that has given up on life, what do you think they can do to come back and give it a go? How do you think they can pick it up, and start being who they want to be? What steps do you think they can take?
Thank you so much. And that's so, so important, because so many of us, me that I'm here, I give up every day, but it's just that I start again. I give up like 2 minutes. After 2 minutes, okay, girl, start going. Okay, it's enough. So some days I cry, I'm like, oh no, why is my life like this? Blah, 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 blah. And when I say, wipe your eyes and start going up, because nobody's life is not going to wait for you. You understand? So number one thing, you must learn to talk to yourself. If you're going to come out from that space, you must learn to talk to yourself. Now, when I say talk to yourself, you are already talking to yourself. Your man say barrier sorrow. You are already talking to yourself. But the thing is that what you are saying to yourself is the problem. Do that exercise, please. I beg you. Just sit down and think about it. What did you say to yourself last week about yourself? Stop it. Just go now and look at what am I thinking about myself to myself. Stop it now. Because write it down and ask yourself, if I times this thing by 100, where will my life be? In trouble. That's why we are in trouble too. So number one thing is start talking to yourself. I can do more. I can do better. Start thinking I can, not I can't. We give up when we start. Our focus is on I can't. Remember, your life will go in the direction that you are looking. So if you are looking in the direction of can't, your life will keep going can't, and it will keep producing can't in that same country. That's how I motivate myself. I say, in that same country where I'm suffering, is the same country where they are making it. These people don't have two heads. They don't have purple blood. They don't have red and white blood. They have the same red blood and the same head as me. Yeah? I start again. That's what keeps me. I start again. I start again. I start again. Reinvent yourself. This is really important. How do I mean reinvent yourself? Look at what is it that you have. Do like a self-audit. This is what I have. Do a self-audit. Write all the things that you have. Remember the chair with 3 legs. 1 leg is bad. Yes, you don't have money. Okay, but you have something. What do you have? I have a certificate. I can read and write English. So write all the things. These insignificant things. Write all of them down. You'll be amazed how big those things are. Ask yourself, what is the gap? Is there anything I need on top of this? Then ask yourself, what can I do? This thing that I have, where can it be used? Who do I know? Who am I connected to? And it's to start that journey. And remember what I said, is consistency. Don't give up. The days you are tired, take a break, rest, but start again. Me, I keep starting again. Reinvent. Look at Nokia. If those of you who are old enough, I don't know how the ages of people on the call, but Nokia, those days, Nokia 3310 used to be the phone. If you had Nokia 3310, you were baba. But look at where's Nokia now. Completely gone. If they give you Nokia now, you take and stone the person. Say, what is that? You'll be so angry. It's like you hate me. Any brand of Nokia, I won't even take. I don't even want to know. What happened to Apple? You and Apple are quarreling. So what I'm saying is that, like, keep, don't stay in one place. You understand? So for all of us on this call, even those of us who are doing well, please don't stay in one. Keep reinvent. Add one thing. You must not be on the same level as you were last year. You must not know the same thing this year that you knew last year. You must know something different today than you knew yesterday. Even put a challenge that every day I will learn one thing. And you can look at your area of expertise, and you can even do like a challenge, like every day in this area, like I do anti-racism work or diversity and inclusion work. What work do you do? Then think about that area every day, learn one thing, even while you are in the gap, while you are waiting. Don't wait. It's only foolishness to wait and say, you fold your hand and wait. You will not go anywhere, please. Don't wait with your hands folded. That is why I started with that picture, that when you want to climb a ladder, you must use your 2 hands. Don't fold your hands, please. So even while you are waiting for life to change, there is something that you can do that does not need money. Okay, you might say, if you're in Nigeria, you might say, yes, I need money, I need data. I don't have data. Somebody will give you data. Use somebody's data. Go to an office. I don't know if you are a public library. Go to a public library. You will find it somewhere. Go to a shopping mall. Use data in the shopping mall. Somebody will laugh at me and I say, there's no data in shopping mall. But fine, there's some honesty. I tell you, I'm not telling you something I don't do. This is me. There's always a way. There's always a way. There is always a way. And that is how I live my life. There's always a way. So don't be on the same level. Reinvent yourself. Keep looking at what can I add to what I have to make it significant. Even if you have to go down to go up, go down small, but don't remain there. Even if you have to negotiate, go down small. Enter where you need to enter. Then you start climbing up again. Please, it's only people who stop that know that life is not working. When they say it's not working, I say, you have stopped. Because if you have not stopped, then you don't know it's not working. It's only people who have stopped trying that know that something is not working. But if you are still trying, then you will still be in the game. Don't count yourself out. That's all I'm saying. Don't count yourself out. I can tell you stories and stories and stories of people who thought they were at the end of their game. And they still made it. Even something as simple as Kentucky Fried KFC. He wasn't a child. He was how many years old when that recipe became, and that's the recipe that we are still eating till today. So yes, I hope that helps anybody who is at a point where you're wondering, oh, it's too late, I don't know what to do. Don't give up. Don't give up. Don't give up. Be consistent. Ask yourself, what can I do differently? What is the one thing that can, do? That exercise that I gave us, please do it. Do it if you can.
Can I please suggest that the exercise you gave us, can we spend the next 2 minutes to actually make it public, maybe hearing from somebody else? I mean, just give us the exercise right now. Let us supply our answer, either somebody answering or muting themselves or putting the answer in the chat so that other people can even see other people's answer, and that might ginger them, just in case they don't know how to go about the assignment. So we can just say it again, and some people really join quite late, just so they can catch up, and then we round up in the next 5 minutes now.
Okay, so this is called this is what I'm going to do statement. This is what I am going to do statement, right? And it becomes a commitment to yourself. Like when you go to a contract, they shake hands on the contract, and it's a contract. So this is a contract you are making with yourself. This is what I'm going to do. Something you can commit to, something that is believable, achievable, but something that is part of your future. You have looked at it, and this is what I need, So, and it's to pick one thing. 2 things, pick one thing. This is what I'm going to do. And basically, is to just think of what area, so there are 2 things. So there are two exercises. One of them is to look at your life as the wheel of life, the 8 different areas of life. So friends and family, health, money, career, physical environment, fun, recreation, personal growth, significant other, or romance. So these 8 areas of your life, look at it and see, where am I lacking? Where do I need to build? But in this main exercise, which I want us to do, is to ask yourself, which area of my life do I want to see change? Which area do I want to see the most change? Which area is giving me most stress? Then you make a one statement commitment. This is what I'm going to do. I can give a quick example. So say, for example, I want to lose weight, right? The doctor says that my weight is too, whatever is affecting parts of my body, I have to, lose weight, So if I come and say, I want to lose weight, is that a good, this is what I'm going to do statement? You can unmute and say.
No. Okay, let me let other people.
Is that a good for somebody who has a health issue and I need to lose weight? So I have written my own, this is what I'm going to do. So I'm telling everybody, I'm going to lose weight. I'm going to lose weight. This is what I'm going to do. I'm going to lose weight. Is that a good, this is what I'm going to do statement?
No, man.
Why?
Because you're not even saying how you're going to go about it.
So important. And it's as simple as that. Most of us have a wish list. That's why it's never done. What we have is a wish list. It's never going to happen. That's why they say if wishes were horses, beggars would ride. It's a wish list. So if I say that I'm going to lose 20 kg in 6 months, I'm going to go to the gym or I'm going to exercise 30 minutes every day. I'm going to walk 10,000 steps and count it. Is that a good, this is what I'm going to do statement?
Yes.
Okay. So do you understand how it works? So I want you to think about one area of your life that you want to see change, that you have been struggling with, that if change happens there, you'll be testifying, you will be singing and dancing. Pick the most difficult and, and then now do your own. This is what I'm going to do. You understand? So make it concrete, make it achievable, make it believable. Don't say something that even you say with don't do something that you say, say, kilo day, it's not going to happen. No, don't do that. Let it be believable. Let it be achievable. It's better to have 10% increase, small, than to aim for 90. If we're in the same room now, I would do an exercise. An exercise I normally do is I put somebody here and, tell you to jump from here to the end of the wall. Nobody can do it. Try as much as they can. They cannot. So it is unachievable. So, but I now say, okay, jump from here to here. Just small, they do it. Then I say, okay, jump to here. They do it. So the time they were using to think, how will I jump from here to there? I gave them small, achievable, believable bites, and they were able to do it in little or no time at all. They did it. So this is what I'm going to do. Achievable, believable, small, and when you put all of those little steps in place, but make sure that it is a vision, something that you concrete, something you actually want to see, something that if it happened, so something of value to you is what I'm saying, and that's how people achieve their compelling future. A compelling future is you paint a picture, write it down, paint a picture. If it is negative, it cannot be compelling. Where you see yourself in 10 years from now. Then what are the steps you need to do to be there in 10 years? Those are the kind of questions I ask myself. In 5 years, when I did a PhD, I didn't do it because I wanted to just be a doctor. Please. I said, when my retirement plan, I said, when I retire, I want to sit down and just start writing books. Then when I write the books, then I will now call conference for people to come and listen to hear my books, talk about my books. That's it. I will go on holiday to Honolulu or to somewhere, do 3 weeks there. I will say I'm going on a writing retreat. I will go on writing retreat, write another book on one subject, and come publish the book, have a book launch. Look at Kimberly Crenshaw traveling around the world. All of us are hosting her, shaking her hand everywhere. That's it. She's just written one book and she's going on back talker. She didn't even need to write too much. She just wrote about all the fights that she has been fighting. That's it. And all of us came that day to come and welcome her. And she's gone everywhere in the world. She's been everywhere and I'm getting the same, accolade. So that's what so my PhD was my retirement plan. So for yourself as well. So make it something achievable. I hope that helped.
Thank you so very much, Ma. Thank you so very much. I believe we have all gained 1 or 2 things today, and we're going to put it to practice. This is the motivation that we need. So you've been motivated today through this platform, through MamaGF. Just to explain why we are doing this. For the past 5 years, or let me say before Mom C died, She has always loved to bring people together. She has always, reach out to people. And in fact, we didn't know the extent at which she went until she died. A lot of people crying this, that, who is going to do this and that. And ever since she left, every year we have been empowering people either through food empowerment or monetary empowerment. We have yearly, at least the last 2 years, we have actually focused on establishing people and starting their own business. But this year we thought we are actually limiting people to money. Sometimes people just need a little push. People just need to hear something that will motivate them and that will put their life on the right gear. People just need, somebody, or they just need to see somebody else achieving what they're achieving, and that will be enough for them. So this year we thought, you know what? We'll reach out to a wider community. We won't just limit it to widows and widowers alone. There are young people out there that actually need to hear some things, and we are privileged today to invite Dr. Ebun Joseph. And I'm sure I'm sure everybody will agree with me. If you agree with me, give me a thumbs up that she has delivered. Me personally, I've been motivated again. I was sitting with my husband here, and I was sitting him wrote a lot of things, and I'm wondering, okay, are we hearing tonight? what we are supposed to do or to start. He has already told me after this fasting, we are starting exercise. We have a treadmill in the house, but it has not been used.
Exactly. Use it. Before
So
the doctor makes you use it.
So I believe we'll be motivated. So thank you so very much, ma'am. Thank you for your time. Thank you for the gift of you. And thank you for using it for humanity. Thank you so, so very much. Tomorrow is for nurses. Please, if you know any nurse in Nigeria or whatever country they are in Africa, please, and please tell them to join the link tomorrow. We have 2 nurses on the call tomorrow. We have Nurse Tolu. She will be telling us if you want to relocate to Ireland, how to go about it. And we have Nurse Joy. Nurse Joy actually have a recruitment agency, and she recruits people to the UK. So we are blessed with the gift of people. So she will be handling us tomorrow as well. So if you know any nurse around, if you know anybody in the School of Nursing, you just want to share information. I mean, this is free. Nobody's asking you to pay anything. But if you know you want to meet our speaker one-on-one, the speakers we have yesterday was Babade Yeye on how to open your own business and the registration. He dropped his email for us yesterday. Baba, you might want to drop it again today. And for those that want to speak with Dr. Ebun, one-on-one counseling session, Doctor, please, if you're still here, please drop your email so people can contact you. And for tomorrow as well, we will drop contact if you want to meet the speakers one-on-one. So thank you so very much. It's the same link that you used today that we'll use throughout the program. So Wednesday, tomorrow, by the grace of God, is for nurses. Thursday, by the grace of God, is for lab tech and lab scientists. That will be done by our able scientist speaker. And on Friday, we'll be having my 2 little brothers. Well, they are not so little anymore. They are daddies. We're going to have Lamide and Olayinka talking to us about HR. If you want to go for job interviews, how to prepare yourself, what is expected. And Yinka will be talking about marketing and sales. If you're selling anything or you want to start selling, what are the steps you need to take? How would you make sales? I mean, these 2 guys, I'm so proud of them because they've really, really made us happy. They're doing well in their field. And, well, you know more about them on Friday. We're going to put our speaker. So keep an eye on my Facebook page. Keep an eye on my WhatsApp status. For those that don't know me, I can see a lot of people on the call that I don't even know, but you're welcome. You can follow me on Facebook. My social media handle name is Olawale Adeniyi. Thank you very much for your time this evening. And we'll pray in the loving memory of our mother that she continue to rest in perfect peace. This is her. This is what she looks like in case you don't know her. That is MamaGF. All right. Thank you, everybody. Do have a beautiful and lovely evening. Thank you. Have a good night rest. Bye. Bye-bye.